All we got is us look down the bench like it's championship or bust. Next man up. All we got is us look down the bench like it's championship or bust.
What's up, New York Liberty Fan TV? I am your host, Rem. New York Liberty win, defeat the Minnesota Lynx 76-66 in the Target Center to move to 21-6. Yes, that's a W, another one in the books. Before I tap in and dig deep into this game, I'm going to need you to do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit that follow button, subscribe button, turn on your notifications, all that good stuff for New York Liberty Fan TV, presented by the Bucket for Bucket Podcast Network. We took a day off after the Sparks game. It was the Sparks game. We had two games out in LA, and we sparked up the Sparks 2-0, and we came out to Minnesota to face the Minnesota Lynx tonight. And we had this one circled on our calendars. At least I had this one circled on my calendar because I was upset we didn't get that 4-0 during that week that we played 4 out of 6 games. And it was the Minnesota Lynx who spoiled that. And they did so without Nafisa Collier, and we were without Courtney Vandersloot that time. But this time around, we did get our payback. I don't know what it is, but the Minnesota Lynx, they seem to have the New York Liberty's number. You know what the record is. As of late, they're definitely defeating us by a landslide. We were able to get one today. So shout out to us for that. But the New York Liberty, the Minnesota Lynx have the New York Liberty's number. And it was a tough game today. It was not easy by any means necessary. They had to get that W, and they did so on the defensive end and on the rebounding end. And they started the game strong, but they cooled down. They started the game shooting around the 80%, and then they cooled down to the 40s, and they cooled down a little bit more. Minnesota's ramping up, and I think that's what Minnesota does. They play us so well, they play so fast, and you know that the New York Liberty is, although we're one of the best offensive teams in the WNBA, we're like last place in pace. So they take advantage of that by playing up and down, and I think we held our own today, and I like that. That they were able to challenge us, because that's going to be good practice, especially playing against teams like the Aces and other fast-paced teams. So that was a good test, and that was a good challenge. The Minnesota Lynx, they went into the half. I forgot what the score was at halftime, but they did have the lead by 1. But it was the second half that said everything about this game. The New York Liberty locked up on defense and held the Minnesota Lynx to just 24 points in total in the second half. So that was amazing. And in that fourth quarter, Minnesota Lynx got into a lot of foul trouble with all of the aggressiveness that they were playing with, but also New York, they were definitely making them play that aggressive, and they picked up like 3 or 4 fouls 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. So that really helped out a lot. And then you had Sabrina knocking down the tray ball. We hit 9 threes as a team. Sabrina hit 6 out of those 9 threes. And then on the rebounding department, we killed them on rebounds. I think I don't have the stats up right now, but we killed them on rebounds. And Jonquel Jones had 17 of those boards. She had another double-double tonight. And this time we get the W. We had 4 players in double figures tonight. I believe it was Sabrina, Benijah, Brianna, and JJ, all in double figures tonight, and had solid games to close out the Minnesota Lynx and get our payback that we needed and really wanted. But we have to keep these challenges. Nafisa Collier wasn't in that last game, but she was. This is the thing that I love about the WNBA. It was Nafisa versus Bree, and usually in the NBA, the superstars don't really always they don't really guard each other. They don't really guard each other like that. They do so occasionally, but this one, they were guarding each other for the whole game, and they both didn't make it easy for each other. They both had to put up tough shots, and both did their things respectively, but it was tough. It was tough for both of them. So I like to see that the superstars in the WNBA really match up against each other and go at it. So that was dope. Sabrina and JJ in the second half, they killed it. Congrats to Kayla Thornton on 1,000 rebounds. And what else? Am I missing anything? I don't think I'm missing anything, but One thing I do want to speak about towards the New York Liberty is that our bench production, if we're gonna win a championship or even make it to the finals, our bench production has to be better. They did a little bit better with taking care of the basketball today. I want to see that consistency with taking care of the basketball from the New York Liberty. However, the bench has to be better. The production on the bench is just too inconsistent, and we don't have a driving force that's really the X factor that's going to help us win games off the bench because we need bench scoring. Our starters do need breaks. We need there is foul trouble. There's things like we need better bench production. That starts with MJ. MJ has to play much better. She's she's a dope talent, but she needs to be better. She needs to be more consistent for the New York Liberty to be successful. And the others as well. We need Kayla Thornton. We need Sabali. We need everybody on that bench to produce at their highest level in order for us to win this championship. Or a move needs to be made. Something needs to be made for this Liberty team to get a little bit better because I think the bench production has to get better. The turnovers has to get better. And that's the only way we're going to contest with a team like the Aces, whom we play this Sunday at 3 p.m. And you know I will be in the building for that one. So if you out there, holla at your boy. I will be in the building. Um, Next game again, the Aces, 3 p.m. on Sunday. Before I go and wrap this up, you know how we do. We had quick buckets. It was 4 games on the NBA slate tonight. Liberty was one. You know how that went. So we got three more to go. But actually, let's stick with the four because let's speak about the game last night. The game last night was a historic game. There was only one game on the slate: Atlanta versus the Phoenix Mercury. Diana Taurasi, she comes into the game with 18 points shy to get to 10K. You already know she's the first to reach 9K. She went from 8K, she first to reach the 9K, and now she was 18 points shy to becoming the first to reach 10,000. And you know how much she dropped? She dropped 42 points, her first 40-point game since 2013, I believe. And this was like real LeBron like fashion because she's like the elder stateswoman in the WNBA, and you know she's chasing that record, and you know it was just dope to see that history, and she did it in high fashion. And honestly, we didn't think that this team would win. They're not really good this year, but she really willed them to that victory, and that was dope to see. But it sucks that I have to take all of this positivity and damper it down a little bit because the Phoenix Mercury is messing up apparently right now. Because first of all, you know Brittany Griner, she's on a mental leave. It was nice to see her supporting Diana Taurasi at the game. Brittany Griner, I hope everything is well with you, and I hope to see you back soon. But get your mental in order as much as you need, and take as much time as you need. But let's talk about Skylar Diggins. Skylar Diggins is out. Obviously, she was pregnant. Let's not forget she was pregnant last year and averaging 30 points while pregnant. And she was doing her thing, and she's giving her all to the Phoenix Mercury. And right now things are going sour. It was her birthday the other day. By the way, happy belated birthday to Skylar Diggins. And the Phoenix Mercury then shouted out. A fan said something about it, and she responded. And she, you know, from what her text said, she doesn't even have access to the facilities to work out right now. And I think it's crazy how the Phoenix Mercury are handling this, how the WNBA are handling this, and it's bad for the game. It's really bad for business, and it's bad for the game. They have to do better. This is women's basketball. Women are going to get pregnant. This is, I think, the second occasion where I've heard a story about pregnancy, and it doesn't end well for the player who gets pregnant. You know about aces and coach getting suspended for 2 games to start the season. So I think teams have to do better, and the WNBA have to do better at that. But that game ended 91-71. Phoenix smacked the Dream. Diana Taurasi with 42 and Parker with 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Now today's games, we had the Connecticut Sun And the Indiana Fever, the Connecticut Sun, defeat the Indiana Fever 88-72. The top performers: Alyssa Thomas with 11.7 rebounds and 8 assists. Aaliyah Boston with 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Then we had the Los Angeles Sparks and the Washington Mystics in a close one. The Mystics defeat the Sparks by 2 points, 79-77. The top performers in this game was Nneka Ogwumike with 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists, and Queen Egbo with 15 points, 9 rebounds. And the last game that we are going to speak about is the Chicago Sky and the Dallas Wings. The Chicago Sky smack up the Wings 104-89. The top performers in this game was Williams with 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. And Natasha Howard with the triple double tonight. She had 28 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists. Dope to see, but they did lose. Shout out to the WNBA players doing the damn thing. And again, Phoenix Mercury, get it together, do better. This is the end of our show. New York Liberty, you know what it is. We got the W tonight. Next game against the Aces. This is one of many games against the Aces. This will be the test, one of the first tests and matchups, the second matchup with the Aces this season, and another one right before we do our Commissioner's Cup in 2 weeks. So, Liberty, stay strong. We need y'all to get these dubs. Stay strong, stay healthy. I will see y'all this Sunday. I am your host, Rem. This is New York Liberty Fan TV. Peace.
All we got is us look down the bench like it's championship or bust. Next man up. All we got is us look down the bench like it's championship or bust. Next man.